welcome once again. We've got James, but with Wendy this time, because they're working so hard, both of them, and getting and stirring the public's interest up, and that's very much a key. And we've got some video, and we've shown you, well, Poppy Day and everything that goes with it. Because of GB News mainly, this year it's certainly taken its place. People have been reminded, and some of them not so good because they said, golly, I'm 100 years old. I don't think I died for this cause, which is very sad, isn't it, Wendy? How do you take comments like that?
I mean, when I watched that, I think what was interesting is that obviously no one was prepared for what was going to come out. I think, and I found sort of the answers back to him a little bit patronizing, but I think he just said it all for us, what so many people are feeling. And a lot of people are scared to voice that opinion because of what you can be classed as being. So for him to have come out that, I mean, imagine that to be sitting at doors knowing what he went through and to be able to sit there and go or feel what was that for? That's heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. It really is. So yeah, I mean, I took my hat off to him and I think Britain did. I think they just,
Yeah,
what a man, what someone that, you normally they sit on the sofa and we all say thank you and they tell their little stories, but he weren't having any of it. He clearly when they said to him, "What's your, how do you feel?" He told them how he felt,
yeah.
and I don't think they didn't know that was coming and they didn't know what to say.
No, no,
You know,
but it's nice to get the truth out there. Now, you
yeah.
you two are very much organising what's going on. We'll just switch to James for a second. James, can you tell us how this last weekend went? It was the Sunday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Sunday the 9th, and we had a really good turnout. We were pleasantly surprised. We had a lot of families turn up. We had people bringing poppies, turning up with their children as well. And it wasn't just an event where we were honouring our own soldiers and soldiers that have fallen or soldiers that are even currently serving. We wanted to make a point that England was not the only country involved in either of the wars. So there were other countries, Italy, France, Portugal, America, so we wanted to make that obvious to people by having other nations' flags showing at the same time while we were there, paying respects to our own soldiers. And, we couldn't have asked for a better turnout.
No. I'll tell you one thing that's just come out in the news overnight. This decision about the Bell Hotel, that we thought, oh, well, that's a good decision from the first judge. And we can't have these people in that particular part of the world being a danger. And that decision's been overturned in the Court of Appeal. And the one thing that stands out for me is we are caring more for illegal immigrants, I repeat the word illegal, than we do for people that are being raped in some cases, accosted, abused. And it can't go on like this.
No, no, it has got to the point where, I've had conversations with local mums, yeah, and we've obviously just had Halloween go past, and the amount of children that didn't go out trick or treating,
Yeah.
or did go out trick or treating, but they grouped together, so it was like 10 parents together with their children, just so there was safety in numbers. It's got to the point where so many people, local families not even within West Drayton, within the borough, within the country, that they just don't feel safe anymore going out. I mean, even just to go and get your local shopping, or you go and picking your children up from school. It's just got to a point where something has to change, and somebody's got to listen when we're all speaking up.
Well done. You two are doing this and stirring the pot, and this is the key. Wendy, it's so easy, isn't it, to just hide behind somebody else?
It doesn't. I mean, we had proof of that on Sunday and Monday evening where we had an influx of coaches coming in again. And the Crown Plaza now is full to the brim with illegal immigrants. The ones that came in late on Sunday evening, by 9 o'clock Monday morning, were roaming our streets in groups of up to 8. No vetting had taken place, nothing, absolutely nothing. And I think that we are literally, the London Borough of Hillingdon, we house the most illegal immigrants in the UK. And we're not big. We're a small place. We're not a big place.
No, I know, but what happens to the police? I mean, can you ring the police and get some action?
Well, I can tell of a story when in our local Tesco's. This was last year, where there was 3 of them that went in there, smashed all the alcohol, stole a load of alcohol, pulled a knife on the security guard so they couldn't do anything. And when the police were called, they were told just let them go, because that's where we're at now. That's what's happening. It's they run into our local Wenzels, they steal food and run off. The police won't come out and do that. But when we do a protest, well, we're hundreds of police. Which, okay, I do understand that, but crime is being committed. And I think as well, I just wanted to say regard to Remembrance Sunday, part of that for us as well was to be able to remember Wayne, who was brutally murdered here, from an Afghan man who came in 1920 in the back of a lorry, and was on the early release from prison. So, it's dangerous out there. Our streets now here, if you go out about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock now, it's quiet. It's quiet because women, children, we're all afraid to go out. I wouldn't dream of going down there on my own now. And I've lived here all my life. It wouldn't entertain me. And it's, you're almost thinking now we've got to build a team up where we all work together and we get children home safely that perhaps parents couldn't pick them up. Where are we going with this? What is our society becoming? Because they're not stopping them. They're not stopping them from coming in. We will most likely have another load in here next weekend. And they're just walking freely, drinking alcohol, smoking and laughing at us. I think that's one of the things. They actually do stand there and laugh at you, or they can hail abuse. I've been on the end of 2 of them in the afternoon with my 5-year-old grandson. Totally tried to intimidate me, frightened him to death. And I called a security guard and he walked away and left me. So, what is happening? What is happening in society? And none of us are safe. And I think with what happened to Wayne, where we've been fighting, saying, women and children are not safe, it's any one of us now. That could have been any one of us walking our dog.
And people, of course, are afraid of using social media because it's hate speech, and you could find yourself banged up quicker than a.
Yeah, and I think that's what it's. I think the racist card that so many people like tried to pull. I think we're coming away from that now. I think it's not winning anymore. It's very boring. It really is a boring card to pull because it isn't about that. As I say, this in the London Borough of Hillingdon, we have a huge amount of all different nationalities that fit in here with us and are great people. I have friends from all over the place that live here. It's not about that, it isn't. And we need to come away from that. But I think most people that call us that, that's all they've got. That's all they've got to call it. But it's boring. It's really boring now.
I mean, you can say that they are integrating in their patch, are they? They're learning the language and integrating.
No, not here at all. I mean, for me personally, they're fighting age men. And the problem we've got as well is that during their assessment, a lot of them want to be passed as a minor. So being passed as a minor, they then go under children's social care. We haven't got the money, and the money to prove that is DNA. And I imagine the dentist with teeth and everything, but that doesn't happen. So it's trying to prove that actually you're in your late 30s, you're not 16. But some are slipping through the net, and they've got all new coats at the moment. All the ones that came on Sunday, they're all walking around in brand spanking new coats. And we've got mums and that here that really struggle. We've got food banks here that are for people in the community that struggle, and they can go in there and get stuff, but they're staying in a hotel with 3 meals a day. And that one of the ones now has been shut down. So that's a place lost. They're given 3 meals a day. Some mums not out there are single parents, mums, single parent dads are struggling. But yeah, it's what you said earlier. Where are our rights? The whole protection is over them. And I have to say it. I'm not saying some of these countries haven't got trouble going on in there. I'm not saying that. What I will say is they're all fighting age men. And if this is so bad in their country, what man leaves a wife and their children in somewhere that's really dangerous? I struggle with that one. I really do struggle with that one. And some of them are not. Their countries are okay. They want to come over here because our system is good for them. It's good for them. They get everything. The hotels are beautiful. The hotels that they're all in are 5-star hotels. They're not 2-star. They're 5-star hotels. In their day, were buzzing hotels because we're on top of Heathrow Airport. And we see all the food lorries go in and all the clothes. And yeah, it just begs to differ. We're in trouble. We're in big trouble
I
here.
mean, it's just got to the point where we're lost for words now, because it's
Yeah.
just on a daily basis, every day, every hour. There they are walking up and down, and we have no choice but to have to normalize this behavior.
If they come in, James, as illegal immigrants, should they be sent straight back out?
Yeah, at the end of the day, places like France, places like Poland, Germany, they're all working together with their governments, so they're all on the same page together. But this country, we seem to be fighting a battle at every angle that we come from, if you like to put it. We're having to fight the government for them to hear what we're saying. We're fighting the councils because the council are in cahoots with the government. So, that's two battles alone before we then end up having to put our fight to the people that are quite happy to welcome all the undocumented migrant men in and are happy for them to walk around. Unlike some of these other countries, we're not only just fighting the one battle. So this is why now it is more detrimental than ever that we get everybody to wake up and see how bad the problem is, not just within our own borough, within all the boroughs in the country, and so forth throughout the whole country. And it's got to the point where something has to be done. It really has.
Britain is at crisis point. Britain
Yeah.
is at crisis point. We are at crisis. I don't know whether it is they want a civil war. I don't know what Keir Starmer is doing. I can't fathom the man out. I think he's deranged. I think he's dangerous. But we are in trouble here, big trouble. And we're doing what we can do because we're trying. I think the biggest thing for all of us is that's involved in this. If I can look my kids and my grandchildren in the eyes later on and say I tried, then that's good. But we get a lot of people that are sit on their sofa and they'll shout at the telly, we're this, but they don't come and join us. And this is why it's so important. We're not asking for people to come and join us to go fighting and smash things up. We're not about that. It has to be peaceful, but we have to do it in numbers. And these people now, we need to really pull together. We need to get away from racism and all of that stuff. And we need to make our community safe again. And yes, I appreciate without them all here, we've still got other people that cause trouble here. I'm not silly, but what they've put on top of us here and the amount of them that come from, other countries, that the way they look on how women should be treated is not what is acceptable in this country. And it's their culture, and I'm not taking away anybody's culture, not at all. But it's what our values are here. We have our values on how we should treat people, how we should speak, and how women should speak. We fought for many years to not become second-class citizen, and I'm not going to, I don't want to be a part of going down that one again, where we are second-class citizen to this army that they're wanting to build. And that's what I truthfully believe they're doing. They're building an army.
Yeah.
The BBC, of course, are in problems at the moment. And you can take that, if you wish, like a barometer, because all we seem to have got for decades from the BBC is inclusivity, diversity. Well, it's not worked.
It hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. I mean, the BBC, well, to me personally, they need to be shut down. They need to be shut down. They lie. Their reporters are just, they don't tell the truth. And look at half of the people that have been involved in the BBC. You know, Jimmy Savile. You've now got, you know, with Prince Andrew and all of that. You know, they need to go. BBC One needs to go. Should be out there.
Right, I really commend you two on your resilience. I mean, this started with approximately 100 people protesting. The last one was 300. You've got another one coming up shortly. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we've got that coming up on Sunday, and the reason we're doing it, obviously, because we had the influx of the immigrants coming in, or illegal immigrants coming in on Sunday and Monday. We weren't going to do another one until December, but everyone's frightened and scared, and everyone knows they've come in. So we've thrown this one out now to do Sunday. So it's all registered and everything and ready to go, and we just need people to come. We Everywhere needs help. Everywhere needs help, but we do need help. And what everyone else has got to remember as well, the Crown Plaza is a holding point for when they come in here. However, there will be, because the other hotels are not, they're full up anyway. So Crown Plaza will be the holding point for them, and then they'll be moved to all different other places as well in the UK. But that is the main place of where they go. So people really do need to come support us, stand, be heard peacefully, but we need to make numbers, and we need to make a noise.
Finally, James, we got Christmas upon us. It's the quiet time of the year. Have you got anything planned over Christmas to keep the thing going?
Like Wendy said, you know, we've got this one out here now for Sunday coming up. You know, we do appreciate, you know, Christmas time, people want to be with their families, you know, and at the same time, we want them to all feel safe and be able to enjoy, you know, Christmas with their families. You know, there's going to be lots of children getting presents, bikes, you know, youngsters. So these people are going to want to be out and about with their kids, enjoying their presents and everything else. We after Sunday, we will obviously regroup and then get the think tank working again and see where we go from there.
Well, don't you stop, you two. You have our admiration, and it's peaceful. You will be looked after. The police will be there on these occasions in one form or another. So that's a bit of assurance. But bless you, and we'll see you about the next one shortly and see how you've gone on there. Thank you
No
both.
problem.
Thank
Thank
you
you
ever
very
so
much for having
much.
us.
Thank you. Take care.